You know, in factories today, there's this invisible force that's completely changing the game: data. The industrial Internet of Things is creating this absolute explosion of data. But that brings up a huge question. How do you turn all that information from a costly headache into your most valuable asset?
So let's just start right there with that big question. Think about your own operations for a second. That constant stream of information your equipment is kicking out. Is it an asset, something that's actively driving your business forward? Or is it actually a hidden cost, just draining resources to collect and store? Seriously, the answer could be the difference between leading the pack and getting left behind. This question, it's really at the heart of what we can call the industrial data dilemma. We are in an age where we can stick a sensor on pretty much anything. But as you're about to see, just having more data doesn't automatically mean you have more value.
This quote just nails it, right? Collecting terabytes of data isn't a neutral act. It actively costs you money. You're paying for the sensors, you're paying for the cloud storage, the network to run it all. Until you actually put that data to work, it's a liability, not an asset.
So, how in the world do we flip that switch? How do we turn this liability into a genuine asset? Well, that's the whole game right there. It's about unlocking the true, hidden value that's just sitting dormant inside all that information.
And the big shift in thinking happens right here. We have to stop just hoarding data and start actively applying it. Real value only gets created when that information is used to make a tangible, measurable improvement on the factory floor. Preventing a machine from breaking down, saving a ton on energy, or making a production line run smoother.
You can think of this journey to value in 3 basic steps. First, you've got data production. That's your sensors and hardware gathering all the raw info. Second is data analysis, where you use the cloud and clever algorithms to find patterns and insights. But honestly, the most critical step, the one that matters most, is number 3, application. That's the magic moment where those insights get turned into real-world action and create actual value. Now you can imagine managing that entire journey, from a sensor on a machine all the way to a useful application. That can get incredibly complicated, and that's exactly why an end-to-end solution is so powerful. To make this really concrete, we're going to look at how a company like Shanghai, Guibu, provides a complete framework for this whole process. Okay, this framework shows you that whole end-to-end approach in action. It all starts with data connection, using common industrial protocols. Think of these like different languages machines use to talk, like Modbus or OPC, to connect to basically any piece of equipment you have. Then it's on to data analysis, using algorithms to spot trends. And finally, the most important part, it delivers the application, with tools for things like predictive health management, or PHM, and energy savings. This is literally how raw data gets turned into real money.
All right, enough theory. Let's talk about what this looks like in practice. How does this kind of technology actually solve real problems on the factory floor? Let's look at 2 specific examples that are probably going to sound pretty familiar. First up, a problem that gives every plant manager nightmares: an unexpected equipment failure. When just one critical motor or gearbox breaks down without any warning, it can cause this massive domino effect, bringing the whole production line to a grinding halt. And that means huge costs, both in downtime and in repairs. So, the solution is a system like the XG8900. What it does is it continuously monitors the vibration and temperature of your machines, 24/7. By analyzing these tiny, subtle changes in those vibrations, it can actually diagnose wear and tear on crucial parts long before they're about to fail. And then it sends an early warning alert straight to your phone.
And the transformation here is just dramatic. Look at the before column on the left. You're dealing with reactive guesswork and sudden, expensive downtime. But on the after side, you shift to data-driven, predictive health management. Unexpected downtime? That becomes planned maintenance. Catastrophic failures get replaced by early warning alerts. That's the power of putting your data to work.
Okay, here's another classic headache: energy. For most industrial sites, it's one of the biggest operating costs, but so often it's a complete black box. You have no idea where it's all going. And maybe more importantly, where is it being wasted? The solution here is a cloud power meter, and its biggest advantage is simplicity. It's designed to be completely plug and play, sending data directly to the cloud over a 4G connection. This makes energy monitoring super accessible and incredibly easy to roll out across a whole facility without needing a massive IT project. And again, just look at the transformation this makes possible. In the before world on the left, you've got total uncertainty.
you're relying on someone walking around and reading meters by hand. In the after scenario on the right, you get real-time monitoring and automated data in the cloud. You go from unknowingly wasting resources to identifying specific, actionable ways to save money.
Now, imagine applying these kinds of solutions not just to one or two machines, but to thousands of them across hundreds of different facilities. The scale of the impact becomes absolutely immense. We're talking about empowering an entire industrial ecosystem. To really get a sense of that scale, look at this. This kind of technology has been proven in the real world, deployed in over 1,600 plants. That shows you it's reliable and effective across a huge range of different industries and environments.
And that experience translates into this massive, living network of over 10,000 pieces of industrial equipment, all connected and streaming data to the cloud as we speak. It's a vast web of industrial insight.
And the amount of data being processed is just staggering. Over 15 terabytes. To put that into perspective for you, that's like streaming a high-definition movie nonstop for over a year and a half. So this isn't some theoretical system. It's built on a deep foundation of real-world industrial data. And when you boil it all down, all of this technology, all of this data, it all serves one single powerful mission: to use these insights to make the day-to-day work of industrial operations and service easier, more efficient, and a whole lot more predictable. So that brings us back to our original question, but now with a totally new perspective. After seeing how data can be transformed from a passive cost into a powerful tool for prediction and optimization, the question isn't really if there's value in your data anymore. It's what incredible potential is just sitting there, waiting to be unlocked in your operations.